Flosstube. My name is Amy. This is my channel, Snow Canyon Stitcher. Today I gotta remember to speak up louder this time, but I'm also using my phone this week, so I used my laptop last week and my video could not hardly hear it. I actually ended up editing it again, turning the volume all the way up. Hopefully it was okay the second time around. Anyway, today is October the 5th, 2023, and it's about 11 o'clock at night. I'm usually stitching, but I wasn't going to do a floss tube this week because I didn't feel like I had enough to share. And I decided I better do a video to be consistent, because I know me, if I get used to not doing a video, and my voice is going to crack too, by the way. Start my video, I mean, carry on a conversation with my husband for 15 minutes, no problem. The minute I start my video, my voice starts to crack. But I know me, if I don't do a video every week, get used to doing one every couple of weeks, it'll become a habit. By the way, my youngest daughter informed me the other day that it takes 21 days to start a new habit and 3 days to break it. I was like, gee, thanks. Oh, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you've had a good week. Thanks to all your comments last week. I was pretty excited about the quilt, so, and he likes it. However, he's trying to treat it like a regular quilt, and it's just a lap quilt. It's just something you use while you're watching TV. Anyway, he likes it, and it's done, and I'm happy. So thank you for all your wonderful comments about it. I want to welcome any new subscribers. Thank you and welcome. And anybody new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. And I want to welcome back my regular subscribers. Thank you guys for tuning in each week to see what I've been up to, see what I've been stitching. I stitch every day. I do. Some days though, I don't. You know what it is? Sometimes I feel like I don't get that much done, and maybe I don't. Maybe some days my stitching is slower than others, but it's on those days that my stitching is slower that I'm taking my time and paying attention to my stitches. That doesn't keep me from making mistakes though and having to frog, so I do a lot of frogging too. But I stitch every day, and I feel like I'm happy with what I stitch, so I'm happy with my stitching. And I'm not going to worry about it anymore, whether I make good progress or not, because the most important thing is that I'm happy with the way it turns out, right? So, and that's my goal in my stitching from now on, is to always improve and just focus and enjoy it, right? So, but I do, I typically stitch every day. And a lot of times I start stitching around 9:30, 10-ish, and I'll stitch until like 1, maybe 1:30, before my eyes start closing, and I've got to call it a day. But because I know that if I keep stitching when I'm tired, yeah, the next day I will have to frog out the stitches that I was stitching when I was tired. I have my matcha tea, which I love. It's the Lipton matcha tea. I absolutely love the flavor of matcha. And this is my book of days. So, got that one. That's not filled in for tonight yet. Will I do any stitching? Probably. My day is not complete until needle and thread and fabric meet. I did do some sewing today too, so I sew every day, whether it be quilts or project bags or other bags or experimenting. So I have no finishes today to share, but I do have a couple of projects that I worked on, so I'll be sharing that, a couple of whips. I haven't started any October stitching yet. I'm procrastinating, which is not good. But I wanted to share my very first time ever stitching on linen, and it was this pattern by, now let's test my memory. I can't think of her name right off the top of my head, but it's a pattern called Nevermore. And I think she still has this, it's as a PDF download on her website. It's right on the tip of my tongue. You guys probably know who I'm talking about. But this was the very first pattern in 2019 that I stitched on linen. I didn't put my date or my name, my initials. A lot of times I forget to do that. But it turned out great and wonderful, and I love it. And I've actually stitched a couple more of her patterns since then, and I have one. It's a Christmas cardinal that I want to stitch, and I think I planned on stitching that one this year for the holidays. But that pattern is a PDF download and it's still on her website. And hopefully I put her shop name and everything across the front so that if you're interested in stitching that, it was a very fun stitch. I love patterns that have like these little designs in them. And one that I'm stitching on now has designs in the stitching. Yeah, it's still available. A couple more finishes. I usually have these on the shelf. And this was from Waxing Moon Designs. Her patterns usually come in a trio. Didn't know that until after I had bought these individually. But you can go over to her Etsy shop and find this pattern, and I think it's a trio. I forget what the other pattern is. There's 3 of them together. You can buy them individually. What I love about these is they have beads. So if you've never beaded before and you've been thinking about trying it, this is a wonderful pattern. And it's a PDF download, so you can get started right away. This is some fabric that I had on hand. I don't remember what stitch count it is. It looks like an 18 count. Either 18 or 22 count. It's an Aida. So I know when I do stitch on Aida, it's usually 18 or 22 count. But this would be a great starter for somebody who wants to see what the beading is like on cross stitch. And then the hat also has beads. Isn't that an adorable hat? Just love it. I love the shading. That's another thing I like in cross stitch is shading with the different colors. That makes it look like it's, you know, a shadow or something. But those are 2 that I absolutely love. And then a couple finishes that I have that need to be FFO'd. I think I had one of them FFO'd and didn't like the frame, but it's Boot Tree, and I don't remember who this pattern is from. I'll put it on the screen, but this was a very, very fun stitch, and it didn't take long. And this looks like it's on, not L. What's the other one from Picture This Plus? Wren. I think it's Wren. Yeah. But very fun stitch. Very whimsical. And then the other one is, this is Autumn Alphabet. I think I shared this in a previous video not too long ago. And I need to get these FFO'd. I think these are all PDF downloads. I love PDF downloads. But look at that cat and the bird, the crow and the moon, and look at the letters. Some of them are like really light. Those are fun. But I haven't started any October stitching yet. I was thinking about doing, oh well, I'll talk about it at the end of my video. Make sure my video is going. I was trying to see, I'm looking at my notes to see if there's anything I needed to mention. So let me share what I worked on this week. And do I not have the pattern with me? What did I do with them? I just have them. Oh, covered them up right here. So it was fun to get back on stitching my regular stitching after Sampler September. And the first thing I picked up was my Mirabilia. Whoops, she's upside down. This is Cathedral Woods Goddess. Is she not glorious in all her attire? Her leaves and her horns. She's just beautiful. And I was able to stitch on her. I think I stitched on her for a couple of days. I was able to fill in the rest of her breastplate area all down the front of her dress. I added some more of her necklace. I did some stitching down by her hand on this side, and I think a little bit on this side, I can't remember. But she's all filled in the front of her dress with her beads and her colorful silk work. And this is on 32 count, 32 count by Zweigart, and I colored it myself. And I'm using all the call for DMC, Mill Hill beads, Krynic. She's so pretty. I love working on Mirabilia. Be nice when I get her done. So the other thing that I was able to stitch on this past week, up till last night, is my Turkey Day by Cottage Garden Samplery. He looks so robust. And I forget what I'm stitching this on. I think this is, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but this is how far I was able to get. So since the last time I stitched all of this area here, I just had the black and the white done. And this is the fill-in I'm talking about. I love when a pattern has this like pattern fill-in. It's gonna be so nice. I love this pattern. It's a fun stitch. And I needed a turkey. I don't have anything with turkeys on it. And since I started this one, I've noticed a lot more turkey patterns coming out. So definitely, I like turkeys. I love pictures of turkeys. So I probably will stitch a lot more. And that's all I've stitched this past week. But I feel good about it, like I said, and it's all good. I do feel like I was a little bit slower this past week. The week before, I ended up not being able to stitch a lot because I wasn't feeling well. And then this week, I just kind of like getting back to my normal self. So maybe that had a little bit to do with it, but it's okay. So, what about you guys? What are you stitching on? Are you stitching on your October stitching? Are you working on any sals? Yeah, let me know. I'd like to know. I was watching last night. I was watching Nichol Sphor I don't know if I said her name right, but I think her channel is Creatively Yours or something like that. I'll put it on the screen. But I was watching her Flosstube and she's sharing some holiday like ornament stitching, and I've yet to stitch any ornaments since I started cross stitching, and I was inspired, but I don't have any ornament. I do have a Just Cross Stitch magazine that was like a holiday, like from a couple years ago, and I know it's here somewhere. I'm gonna have to find it. I do believe it has some ornaments in it, and I know that there's another cross stitch magazine at Joann that has a lot of ornaments in it. So I'm going to Joann's tomorrow because my youngest daughter wants to go and get some yarn. So I think I'm gonna get that magazine. I went over and looked at it and picked it up and looked at it several times, but I wasn't thinking ornaments. But Nichole's Flosstube inspired me. So I took out this book. It's a book I bought a couple years ago. I think I got it at Joann. And it's called Retro Cross Stitch 500 Patterns. And I was just looking through there because I know it's got some really cool designs in here. And I was thinking, well, I would like to make my granddaughter an ornament. I'd like that to be a thing. And my oldest daughter, and my other children, my husband. And I was thinking, well, you know, ornaments don't have to be traditional, right? They don't have to have snowmen and snowflakes and, you know, because I ran across this one, if I can find it. It's just got a lot of cute little motifs, and that's mostly what it is. It's motifs that you can stitch. Like there's a carousel. Isn't that cool? But I was trying to think, okay, well, what are some things that I feel like is Christmassy? And so that's what I could think of was traditional stuff like snowflakes and snowmen and Santa Clauses, which are all beautiful, and I do tend to, I am going to be stitching some of those. But I wanted to start right away. You know the feeling? You watch a Flosstube and you get inspired and you're like, I want to do it now. So I was like, well, let me see what I have. And I was looking through here. Well, I'm not gonna be able to find it now. And I said I wasn't gonna do this anymore in my video because I don't wanna aggravate you guys, but here's some like typewriters and a camera. Wait, is that the pattern? No, it's not the pattern. There's fans. So I was thinking, well, you know, like a drum. It was a drum. That's the one I was looking for. It was a drum and a clarinet, and you know, you could take anything, any motif like that and make it into an ornament, right? Like the drum, I could color it like red and gold and like for a little drummer boy. I remember I was like 4 years old. My brother's 4 years older than me, so he was already in school and he was in the play and he played the part Little Drummer Boy. So, but you know, it doesn't have to be the traditional things. Another book I have is Cross Stitch, Whimsical Cross Stitch. It has some little animals in it. So if you want to make an ornament for somebody who's an animal lover, like this little guy, this is a good book. It has a lot of really pretty motifs in it. I can't really show you the motifs because the pattern is on the same page. Let me share this one. Let's see if I can put it up there. Put this one back. Like if you have somebody that lives on a beach, look at that cute little cross stitch. There's a beach scene in it. Like I've seen a lot of Christmas flamingos. But these patterns are the perfect size for an ornament. Oh yeah, I'll show you that one too. But look at this little somebody's a gardener, you could, like, I don't know, color the flowers red or just leave it like this. It'd be pretty, right? I wanted to show you this one. This is super cute. This book has, this is the kind of patterns this book has in it. It's a little bee. This would make a biscorno. Let's make a cute biscorno. Yeah, I thought I'd share these with you. I was looking through them to try and come up with some ideas for an ornament because I wanted to stitch one last night, but I didn't get started on one. But I will be going to Joanne tomorrow, and I'm going to pick up that book. Oh, I want to share this with you. So I finished another bag from that pattern that I shared last week, and this time I made it bright, and it's this one. How cute is that? Oh, I love it. And it's got the pockets in it. The one for the pen, and isn't it sweet? The only thing is that I can't make these to sell because the pattern designer doesn't want us to do that. So, I would love to make some of these for others, but I mean, I could gift or sell up to 10 of these, and I could probably email her and ask her for permission, but I'm not going to. I mean, you know, it's so pretty though. It really turned out pretty. So I finished that this past week, and I was able to, that's everything cross-stitching. Actually, I do have my midnight watch, which I'm thinking about starting. I don't know, it's just so, I don't know why I can't get inspired for my October stitching. I wanted to see if I could find like I do have a Quaker pattern actually, that now that I think about it, that I've had for years, that I bought like 3 years ago. So maybe I'll stitch that one with black and gray. I don't know. I can't snap out of it. Maybe in a couple of days. I don't know. But that's all my stitching that I have to share. You guys, sorry. I do have some crochet and some quilting and something else I want to share, but it's not cross stitch. So I thought I'd let you know before I move on. I was able to crochet some more squares for my daughter's blanket. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. Oh, I did some knitting on my daughter's thing, but I didn't bring it down. I'll share it next week. And I also was able to crochet this color. A lot of fun. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So that was fun. I also started, I didn't bring the book over, but I shared the quilt pattern that I wanted to start, and I did. I started it, and so I've been able to do like maybe 3 of these a day. So there's that one, and these will all go together in one big block. There's that one, and that one, and I'm just using my scraps for this. This one, and this one, and then there's a lighter green, and then this pink one, kind of peachy color, and then this bold, like mustard color, And then a dark blue one. Well, navy blue. And then this pink one. So there's supposed to be 16 in that whole thing. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 6 more to do, and then I can put the block together. So I was thinking while I was making these, I was like, I wonder if I could just enlarge the size of the pieces and make a larger block. So I gave it a whirl, and I came up with this one. It's the same block, just 1 inch bigger in all the pieces. And so it turned out so well today, I was like, well, I should make another one. So I did. So I have a jelly roll from, I don't know her name, but it's Henry Glass designer. And I bought a jelly roll from, and I'm going to use that jelly roll along with some white fabric that I picked up at the quilt shop this week. And I'm going to make a quilt out of the bigger squares too. Fun. It's going to be mine. Yeah, because I was going to use my husband's quilt that I made him the other day, and he didn't like it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll make my own. I can do that. But yeah, that's what I worked on for my quilting this week. And I average getting about 3. I could do more, but I'm usually pretty tired out by after 3. And then now I'm doing a bigger one after I do those 3. So that takes up a couple hours in the afternoon, which I enjoy. I do. I love my quilting. So it was last year I ran across, I love to watch people who paint, acrylic paint. And last year I ran across Angela Anderson, and she was painting a cat, a black cat. And I didn't bring it. Let me grab it right quick. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I was thinking it looked like it looked fairly easy, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just play around. And so I just grabbed a piece of paper, took out some, I have a tray that I picked up at Michael's or somewhere, and I just grabbed some water and a brush, and I followed along, and I did this much of the cat on paper. And this was last year. And I was like, wow, that was super easy. And oh, it turned out, I was really super happy with the way it turned out. And so the other day, like when I'm quilting, I like to turn somebody on and watch, listen to and watch them as I'm quilting. I like to watch them paint. So I had remembered doing this cat on paper, and I was wondering, I was thinking about upscaling a little bit. And so I did. When I finished quilting that day, I did this all in one setting. I decided I would find that video and I would give a go at doing it with on canvas. And I did, and this is how it turned out. Super cute, isn't he? Oh, I love him. I gave it to my husband. He said he was going to charge me for letting me bring it down and share it. I was like, no, I'm going to share it. But turned out really good, and it was super easy. Isn't he sweet? Oh, I love him. I didn't paint the whole side of my canvas like I was supposed to. That's okay. So that was fun. And that's everything I did this week that I can think of. I'm sure there's other, I did go down to the Honda dealer and swap out my daughter's battery key. By the way, if you have the push button key for your vehicle, if that key ever, the battery goes out on it, you can still start your car. All you have to do is take the metal end of the key and put it on the start button. Press it in with the, press the start button in with the metal end of that, like the part that goes on the key ring. Just press that against the start button and it'll start it. Yeah, I learned that this week. That was pretty cool. Because I was thinking, why would they make a vehicle that has a battery operated key that could possibly go out, How would you start your car? There's got to be a way. Because I honestly, what I thought you did is I thought you somehow could use the regular key, because you can take the fob apart and a regular key is inside the fob, right? But that's how you can open your door to get in if your fob goes out. But that's how. There's no way to use the regular key that I know of, unless, yeah, maybe there is, I'm not sure, but that's what I learned, is that you just press that on the start button. So there you go. I was just like an aha moment, but I did that this week, and I did, yeah. So can't think of anything else I did this week, but I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you have a great week coming up, that you get some good stitching time in, and that you're stitching on what you enjoy, and that you stay well, and that you be safe. And I will see you in my next video. Okay, see ya. Thank you. I forgot to mention, thank you, Grandma, for the card. I loved it. You're so sweet. Okay, see ya.